Everybody, it's Invictus. Time for another run here. The Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Tuesday, Mosh Pit. I hope your Tuesdays are going off to a great start here. We did not have another video crossing 3,000 likes over the weekend, but obviously we're still going through the weekend lull on the likes. So make sure you like this video and all the other videos there because we're very close, within striking distance of the 6 or Die challenge run, which is going to make me do 6 victory laps or die trying, and that's going to be very entertaining, to say the least. Here's your hilarious meme of the day, brought to you by someone whose name I literally cannot read because it's not offensive, it's not inappropriate or anything like that. It's just dashes and lines. So I assume that it's some kind of Morse code for something. I don't know what, I can't translate Morse code just off the top of my head, but this is brought to you by, I'm just going to say Morse code. Title of the episode, or title of the thread was episode 25, the DVD defense strategy. I do like it. I only would have modified the title a little bit by saying the DV defense strategy. Just that would have made more sense. But yeah, you gotta, hey, safety in the corners. Gotta paint those corners when you're going up against Gertie Jr., and especially those dang old cages. So thank you very much, Morse Code, and everyone who upvoted that one. Got a lot of upvotes too. CJ's gonna be Zulu Hotel 1, Quebec Echo Tango Lima. We've got we got the body, so plenty of HP. We also have the glass cannon, not canyon. Combined with the vibrant bulb, that's actually quite the nice little combo there. And I guess we're just gonna go straight to the boss. Good lord, gonna be Baby Plum. She's gonna be baby dead here. Okay, maybe not baby dead, but now obviously with glass cannon you got to be careful. If the cannon has not broken, you would get dealt double damage until it recharges again. And you'll get double damage on the first hit. I'm not going to take the soul heart yet, or I guess I did. For some reason, I thought that Latchkey dropped the soul heart. I don't know why. It's been a long day today. Wow, our tears rate at the base level is horrible. 1.97 is trash. 1.97 tears, 3.73 damage is okay. Movement speed's okay, and our shot speed's okay, but our tears rate is no bueno. But yeah, it was a long day today. I did indeed complete Friendsgiving. Those of you who follow me on Twitter or X will know that I posted updates. I try to give as many updates as possible. I got a lot of compliments from people over on Twitter and people who came over. There was not a complaint in the house, and that made me feel good because I wasn't nervous. I knew that I could do it. I just didn't know to what extent I could make an entire traditional American Thanksgiving feast. So I did the ham, I did the turkey, I did everything that I was talking about yesterday, or whenever it was the last time I talked about doing the Friendsgiving thing, and everything went off without a hitch. People were happy, people were full, and they were just having a good time. You know, we had a little bit of wine, and it was a good time, man. And I felt great about doing it too because I was unsure of just the results, really. There was no real apprehension. I did kind of screw up the gravy a little bit, though. But overall, it was a very fun experience. It made me very happy that I was finally able to do one. It's as dumb as it may sound, and this is how you can tell that you're kind of getting old, is that like one of my dreams, the first thing I wanted to do when I got a house 4 years ago now, was I wanted to do a Thanksgiving dinner at my place, and now I've finally gotten to do that. It took a little bit longer than I ever expected, but I was surrounded by friends, and it was a fun, wholesome time. Everyone had a great time. Everyone contributed a little bit too. One of my buddy's wives brought deviled eggs, which I love deviled eggs, one of my favorite things ever. My best friend brought macaroni and cheese. That was also very enjoyable, that his wife made. So it was, you know, other friends brought cranberries, like all that kind of good stuff. So it was a good time. I probably should not have. We have no bombs, so yeah, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that soul heart. That was dumb. Wait, it was dumb. There's the maze. So going to last week's question of the episode, coming in from the Isaac Gacha episode, episode 22, brought to you by Simon. I'm going to say Girgenti7527, who said, question of the day, why is metronome a yes while Let Me Get Down is a no? Very simple, because metronome doesn't stay with you past the room. Metronome actually can give you permanent benefits, like HP upgrades, like bomb upgrades, like devil deal chances, like quarters and money and stuff, useful things. Where Let Me Get Down, it does give you benefits to a certain point until the wisp is destroyed. 9 times out of 10, though, Let Me Get Down just likes to troll you, and then that's just the end of it. At least that's been my experience anyway. Get quad shot here. It's been a while since I've seen quad shot. Now, quad shot is not going, or glass cannon is still not going to shoot quad tiers. At least I don't think so, unless they've changed it. Yeah, the big old giant tier though. I love that we have a little synergy here with the vibrant bulb and glass cannon. Glass cannon, it can be good, but it can be extremely dangerous. They've made it less dangerous over the years though, making it to where it can't kill you if you have if you've dinged yourself or gotten hit with the glass cannon from the double damage. It won't actually kill you. It'll bring you to lethal damage essentially. But make no mistake about it, losing that much HP very quickly is also not good. That will kill you. It's a big old key jamboree right now. Tier detonator is interesting. I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of insurance here against two hard devil deals. So we need to get 1 cent. $0.01 game. Oh, there's definitely, or at least I hope there's going to be 1 cent in this vault here. Secret room's to the right of the vault, I think. I think that's the secret room right here. Okay, the wooden chest, which is going to give us a couple of tarot cards. The Emperor card and Hierophant. There we go, baby. Again, game knowledge, knowing exactly where, or at least in a very accurate approximation where your secret room is going to be. One of the biggest things you can learn in Isaac. That's not something that I can really teach you. I try to show you all exactly where I know secret rooms are, where they aren't, to a certain extent. But obviously, Isaac kind of doesn't go with the rules that it itself establishes for itself. So you know, the secret room is not always going to be adjacent to a certain amount of rooms. Super secret room is going to be in a weird place every now and then. That's just going to happen. It's about recognizing that, and I also recognize doo-doo when I see it. Curse the Unknown. Extremely tempted just to fire off this Emperor card right now. In fact, I'm going to. Because there's no way we're going to hold on to an Emperor card for that long for this entire run. And we want to try to get more stats now. Now, I'm not going to skip the item room here. Or the shop. But, yeah. Dude, at this point, screw it. Lost damage, but we gained a little bit of tears. It's hard to tell, though, with Vibrant Bulb being active. I don't know if we've lost HP because it's Curse the Unknown. It's really kind of a toss-up right now. Glass Cannon still doing work. Now, if we can get a better tier effect, or any tier effect, with Quad Shot, then we're going to be really, really looking to push the damage here. And I'm not afraid of Glass Cannon to a certain extent, but it is something that can get out of control on you if you're really not paying attention, or if you get inundated with a bunch of Curse the Unknowns. Like, you have to know how much HP you have. Otherwise, you don't know how much you're going to be able to be careless with, even though you shouldn't really be... You shouldn't be purposely careless, just be aware, especially when you're talking about devil deals. Okay, so we've backtracked all the way there, and that's exactly what we're talking about. So there's the broken... I legitimately could not tell which creep was mine and which creep was not. I have no idea how much HP we have right now. But that's what happens. You get hit one time and the glass cannon breaks, and then you get absolutely destroyed. We've already fought the boss though, but now we have to go through this awkward phase and we have to charge the glass cannon before we can use it again. And this is the reason why, precise reason why I want to get rid of it, because I don't want to have to worry about taking double damage from stuff. But also we need to get a more permanent solution, because I know that I'm not going to stick with the glass cannon. And after using the Emperor card, we've had to go all the way back. Again, I have no clue what our HP is. I'm assuming it's not much, because we've taken lots of damage. Cannot go into this curse room until we find a red heart. The damage upgrade. Algiz rune. We can go in there with an Algiz rune, but still, it's a little bit iffy. Secret room here would be nice. Okay. It's a key beggar, and key beggars lately have been really showing up. In a good way. I mean, like they've been stepping up and performing well. So let's give it an old college try here to see if we can get something going. Don't have Guppy's tail, so we don't need to be too loose. We don't have to be too tight with our keys, but at the same time, we don't be giving away a ton of them for nothing. Especially if he's not going to give us anything back. So we got 21 cents. I don't think I'm there yet. And yeah, there we go. That is a Sinvicta map right there. Use the Emperor card to try to save time, and then having to do literally the entire map just to get to a piggy bank and whatever else is in our shop. Which it definitely could very well be a greed fight here. Oh, but it is stopwatch. I am going to take stopwatch with no apologies. There's not really a way for us to get any more. There's no way for us to get any more money, so I don't really want to roll the shop anymore. And we've slacked on time here. I know where the super secret room is. It's to the left of this west hall. This west room is right here. Get an eternal heart. Okay. All right, we've definitely recovered now. We still have the glass cannon. Got to be careful about that. But other than that, I think that we've stabilized enough here. No. Don't ever do that again. There's the darkness. But if we're going to have quad shot, this is the danger here. We can actually almost fire glass cannon faster than we can fire just our regular tiers here. That's how slow our shots are. Which is obviously, it's to be expected, right? When you get quad shot, you're dividing up your tiers, you're firing more and more damage out, so the game has to limit you some way. Unless you get 20/20. If we get 20/20, then all bets are off. I don't like this room. I like this room for us. Also, got to be careful. We just saw that little jitter right there. That was from us firing glass cannon. Glass cannon will knock you back a little bit. You got to be prepared for that. It's actually probably safer for me to use glass cannon like this instead of trying to fire off quad shots. And this is where a Tech 0, a Tech 0.5, Jacob's Ladder would really come in handy with quad shot. Even a Cursed Eye or Neptunus would be huge for us. Very disappointed that only hit one of you. This is one of those rooms where the more you move around, the worse it is for you. Here's our greed fight. Since we have the spectral and piercing tier here from Glass Cannon, I have no interest in sitting toe-to-toe and squabbing with greed here. In the interest of saving our devil deal. And also, you know, whenever we do find our item room. Whatever that will be, of course. This is another one of those rooms that I'm just not a huge fan of. There's way too much chaos going on in here. And if anything, this room is a great teaching tool for controlling your outgoing damage. I know. It's almost a meme at this point with the whole controlling your outgoing damage thing with me. But I try to tell people only because it is so important in this game. We still didn't find the item room, but I'm just going to... We've got an Algis rune here, so I'm just going to risk it and go for the devil deal. Without having a soul heart, because I don't think it's going to get any easier for us at this point. Obviously, we don't want an angel deal here. Okay, we get some more money and heart. I may pop the Algis rune depending on who we're going up against. Yeah, we're going to have to do it. Only reason why I'm doing this is because I want to guarantee the devil deal here. We may have no-hit that, but I don't want to take the risk. HP upgrade. Do get a devil deal. Ooh, pay to win. Okay. And this does give us the mark and also a good tier effect here. Now, pay to win is going to make us we lose the synergy with our we lose the synergy with Vibrant Bulb and Glass Cannon, but you know, talking about options, what, you know, how do you overcome when the game doesn't give you an optimal start or even a good start? Options. The more choices you get, the better. Almond milk, all that's going to do is it is going to increase our tears rate, obviously, but at the same time, what else is it's going to do is going to severely nerf our damage. Not only for quad shot, but also for Glass Cannon. And if we're going to be stuck with Glass Cannon, I want it to be doing 100% of the damage, not 30% of the damage. Or whatever the coefficient is on almond milk. Plus, almond milk is just too chaotic, man. It goes back to what did I just talk about? Controlling your outgoing damage. The problem with almond milk, other than the massive damage down, which is not usually a problem sometimes, depending on the tier effect, see soy milk, but the biggest problem with almond milk are those random shots that just go anywhere they want, and you have no idea where they're going to be hitting. If they hit anything at all, or they could possibly ruin a lot of things for you. All that with a huge damage down, no thank you. I think I'll pass. I don't know why this dingo went all the way up here, but the slow shot combined with the stopwatch is actually doing work for us. It's keeping up the uptime on that giant tier. We have enough range to hit most of everything across the room, so. Glass Cannon really, really carrying hard here. Glass Cannon is good until it's not. If you have a run that can facilitate very high mobility and you know, very, very little danger in terms of where you're trying to go, Glass Cannon can look like one of the best items in the game, but trust me when I say it is not. It's one of those, it's a red herring of an item. Again, it looks great until it's not. Those of you who have died with Glass Cannon, you'll know this pain all too well. But if used properly, with the right mobility, Glass Cannon can be the GOAT. It can help you overcome really, really, really bad stat deficits. or lack of tier effects. The low cost of possibly dying. I'm shocked that the secret room is not there. It's got to be in the elbow at this point. Oh, well, no, it can't be. There's a gap there. Yeah, I have no clue. Stopwatch obviously is going to help our mobility because it slows everything down and also gives us a speed up, which is good. But plenty of money, and once again, our shop and item room are adjacent from one another, or at least very close by each other. It's Angry Flies, Angry Nope. So we're going to utilize the options that we got here from Pay to Win. I mean, this would get rid of Glass Cannon, but not for that. Skipping Stone. We haven't taken Skipping Stone in a while, and we're still not going to. We will take the wafer. The wafer. Let me count the ways. Wafer is going to reduce all damage down by half, including the damage that we suffer from Glass Cannon, I believe. So Glass Cannon now only does 1 heart of damage instead of 2. And yeah. All right, look. I didn't want Glass Cannon for the entire run. It was carrying, but we got to be more self-sufficient now. Now, you could argue that there was no reason for us to try to double that store. There was nothing of great value in there. 2 Glass Cannons don't make anything. No transformation, nobody in a box, no nothing. No mapping, etc., etc. You could say that. But what if you think outside the box and think in an anti-Sinvicta way? You could argue very, very easily and very greatly, and something that you should definitely do logically, that me using and failing the Crooked Penny inside of the shop prevents me from using it and failing it in the Devil Deal. That's right. Right? Sinvicta smart. I'm playing to avoid causing myself problems. Unless, of course, we get a full charge before the boss, then, well, it's all in vain. Which is what's going to happen. Now, we do actually have plenty of HP to take a Devil Deal, so I'm not really motivated to use the Crooked Penny unless there's like 2 Guppy items in there. Then I'll take 1, and then we'll try to duplicate it for Guppy. But come on, we know that's not going to happen, right? Right? We gotta get past Pile first. Pile is not a guarantee here that we're gonna be able to get it here without. We're gonna get a W here without taking damage. We can take 2 hits from a regular shot, courtesy of the wafer. I can't believe that did that little damage. Was it the last possible second? Okay. Getting a very many amount of text messages and thanks from friends thanking me for a great time. Oh, baby, look at this. So we've got the Sack Room Shuffle here. This is a pretty much guaranteed full payout here thanks to the wafer. And I mean any Sack Room that we see, we've got to do pretty much. I'm not gonna lie, I do wish that we still had glass cannon. That would be a very nice convenience. But again, when you're talking about the later stages, it's quite dangerous. However, with us having the wafer, it would have been nice because then the danger is cut literally in half. One of those rooms I do not like. One of those rooms that I wish that I had. You know what? I'm gonna Blackheart bomb this room. Okay. It's a lot easier than having to deal with that room, especially with us having the wafer. I don't mind spending a half soul heart as a worthy sacrifice. Get Bighorn sniping here. We got our full card. We might as well take our full card. Just do this now while we still have a soul heart. Because I am going to play the Sacrum Shuffle here. Hoping nothing crazy comes out here. Regular mom. She's taking her sweet time, though. It's one of those encounters. It's just like anything in Isaac. The longer you're in a room, the higher the chance is that you're going to get hit by something. We need to save at least one of these soul hearts for possible devil deal. 68%. We've seen crazier things happen this month, that's for sure. By the way, thank you everybody who blew up the last TikTok at the time of this recording anyway. That one's almost at 100,000 views, which is nuts. TikTok is destroying YouTube shorts right now in terms of views. You'll get a Tears upgrade. I'm willing to go for 2 here. Oh, baby. That is a risk I think that is worthy of doing so, right? Because if we don't get the double there, it's not really a big loss, right? But if we do get it, it's a great gain for our damage, our DPS. Even with wafer though, we're not invincible here. Okay, that HP upgrade, it's less than 3, and that's huge because it gives us an almost full heal whenever we pick it up, which is going to go great because we've lost so much HP right now that we can't really do. We can do an almost full shuffle. Now, what's nice about seeing Gluttony here is the fact that we don't have to worry about greed showing up in our shop either. Secret might be here too, which would be nice. It is. We can get into the boss trap room, which may be even more. It might be even more HP. Priestess, Soul of Napoleon, and Fishing Card. More damage. Now I'm tempted to try to double champion belt. It doesn't stack very well on itself, and we do just if we're not gonna get solitaire effects other than Bighorn or Little Horn, then we need to go for raw damage. Bighorn doing its thing right now. Obviously, when I say Bighorn, I mean Little Horn, but it is Bighorn's hand, so who's really doing all the carrying here? Okay. I think I'm just going to take the champion belt. There's no reason for us to really give that up. We can take a sneak peek in the curse room. Maybe we'll get something worth doubling in here. So we'll get the soul heart for sure. If anything, this is more money that we can put in our donation bank. Whoa, there. I almost died to that mimic chest. That was insanely close, dude. I almost had a heart attack right there. When we left this room, was that a mimic chest? Because I definitely didn't see that. It looked like it changed as soon as we walked in. I need to see an instant replay of that one. I know someone told me that you can actually look at the replay while recording, but I didn't do the thing that they said. I'm gonna have to really go through that tape because I don't know how close we were to losing right there, but it may have been closer than the cage incident in the corner. 30 cents is not what we want. Like, my heart is actually still going right now because that was a I can't begin to describe how close we were to dying right there. That was unbelievably close. And that would be like the most Invicta way to die, would be to a mimic chest that wasn't there. Or at least one that I didn't notice, and then it changes when we walk in just because I walked out just so I didn't have to deal with troll bombs. Hey, look at that. I just decided to say screw it, and we'll go for a profit payout of 1 soul heart there, and it worked out okay. My heart is still going right now. I cannot wait to end this video and go look at how close that was. I mean, that's got to be as close as it gets. Doesn't matter for us. We don't need money anymore. So this run was really cooking early on with glass cannon, but man, we slowed down a lot. That was definitely what I would say was an Isaac incident. That qualifies as an incident. Almost, I would even dare say almost a situation brewing here. That mimic chest. That was something else right there, man. I have to go lay down after that one. I was worried about the turkey. The turkey being too dry, and I was worried that the gravy was going to be bad. So I'll talk about the turkey first. Because from a very basic standpoint, the turkey was really nothing hard to do. You know, pull out the neck, pull out the giblets. You know, you salt the cavity, you salt the you go with the basting, put the butter on the outside, salt and pepper that. But when I say salt, I mean salt and pepper, by the way. Salt and pepper the cavity. Do the first layer of butter on the outside of the turkey, salt and pepper that. And then you pretty much are good to go. I did do stuffing, but I didn't stuff the turkey, if that makes sense. I did it separately. And then I got a little just a little tidbit of information from Mama Victa. Now you guys and gals are not allowed to share this, okay? So between me and you and the 30 or 40,000 and some odd people left, they're gonna be watching the rest of this video here. You're not allowed to tell anybody, all right? But Mama Victa shared with me a very special secret when it comes to turkey. she said in the roasting pan to put a layer of chicken stock instead of water to help sort of steam brine and flavor, like you know, just jazz up the flavor of the turkey while it's roasting in the oven. So I did that. I followed instructions to the T. I even basted when I was supposed to. Mama Victa said an hour and a half for the first basting, and then subsequently every 60 minutes after that till the bird was done. Did that. Ooh, okay, if we get a full charge, we might be able to get Guppy off of just one pedestal from falling. And that would be lovely. You could take Bloody Lust, but honestly, I'm not going to at this point. I don't think we need it. What I do need, though, is I need to double this one more time. One more time, game. This would be an amazing turnaround here. Not that we've been ever in trouble on this run other than the incident. Oh, we got it, baby! Wow, look at that. 4 guppy heads. Let's go, Crooked Penny. I see you working. Oh, man. Amazing. And a rock right there. Okay, so I did everything to a T with the turkey. Basted when I was supposed to, followed the instructions, etc., etc. Well, the internal temperature of the turkey, as per instructions on the turkey itself, and also a few other people telling me, needed to be 170. Some people say 165. Other people say 170. I like to err on the side of caution, just go 170, just because that just seemed better to me. I'd rather have a bird slightly overdone than undercooked. Because then you're rolling the dice at that point, how much longer you're supposed to be cooking a bird for. Again, keep in mind, this is my first ever turkey that I've ever done, ever. So, when I pulled the turkey out, I was really excited. I took a picture of it because I was like, oh my God, it looks so good. Like, I needed to capture that moment, you know, really special life moment of pulling my first turkey out of the oven that I myself made all by myself. And then I checked the internal temperature, and it read 189 in Fahrenheit. And I was like, oh, no. That's almost 20 degrees Fahrenheit higher than what it was supposed to be. So then I was really, really, really nervous that it was going to be super dry, and obviously that's the biggest nightmare of any turkey dinner, is that the turkey is a little dry. So I was like, man, I hope I didn't screw up my first time. But somehow, some way, after I let it rest for 20 minutes as instructed, it was surprisingly good. I carved into it. The first carving was, I was like, ooh, yeah, it's dry. It's done. It's over. It's GG. But that I also carved it near the bone, near like the rib bone. And the white meat was succulent. It was juicy. It was all kinds of descriptive, slightly gross sounding cooking terms. And the dark meat was fantastic too. I'm not a huge dark meat fan, but lately I've been okay with dark meat. You know, I go to the Renaissance Fair, I get a turkey leg, whatever. It's, you know, it was good. My favorite part of the turkey, and you guys can tell me if I'm weird again, as most people think I am for some reason. My favorite part of the turkey is actually the turkey skin. Like, you know, ripping it from the neck. And I leave. Now I do have some tact. I do leave the skin on the breasts whenever I'm carving them. Like, that's just rude to take all the. That's like taking all the chicken skin from someone's KFC bucket. But I love the crispy turkey skin, man. It just by itself, no seasoning, nothing. It has that salt, that butter, that pepper on there. It's crunchy and crispy and fatty, and oh man, turkey fat is just. It's not as good as duck fat, but it's close. So anyway, now let's get to the gravy, because the gravy became the biggest the biggest worry point for me after what happened. Essentially what happened was I had gravy. I made it. I just as instructed as I should have. And then I was like, you know, I bet this gravy would be fire, because I was so encouraged and so happy with how the turkey turned out. This gravy is going to be fire if I just add a little bit of the drippings. Now, you're supposed to add some drippings regardless of that, but I didn't this time around, because I was like, I don't want to overcomplicate it or whatever. I'm just going to do the recipe as instructed, and that's that. Well, I decided to go against the recipe, and I added drippings. Turns out I added too much. It was watery. It was, you know, it was going to be oily because of so much fat and butter and stuff in there. And it was a very water-like consistency, and that's not gravy. It was like milk, like a bowl of cereal. So I was like, okay, I got to thicken this up. Well, the only thing I had for thickening agent was I didn't have cornstarch, that's the one that I know the best. As cornstarch. I didn't have any cornstarch. So me and my infinite wisdom of cooking, I was like, well, I've got flour. Big mistake. Don't ever add flour as a thickener after the fact if something has already been cooked. Don't ever do that, because what happened, and those of you who know anything about cooking, you know exactly what happened. But in case you don't, I added just over a tablespoon and a half of flour. There was a lot of gravy. It was a big skillet that I was making this stuff in. Oh baby, man, Crooked Penny on fire. So what happened was, after I added the flour, it became too thick. And on top of that, the bigger problem was the fact that there were little balls of flour now, like white clumps and lumps stuck in the gravy that I couldn't whisk out with my own power, my own human power. So I was presented with a difficult choice that I've done this to myself. It was a self-inflicted cooking wound, but I had to deal with it because who eats mashed potatoes without gravy? Who eats turkey, Thanksgiving turkey without gravy? I didn't want there to be an incomplete experience in my house. So what I did was I said, okay, I've got two choices now, because I need to make sure that all these flour clumps are blended out, essentially. I can put it in a blender, but then I was worried about it aerating and sort of making the gravy too fluffy into almost a dough, because it was already pretty thick after that little flour that I put in there. So I opted instead for a stand mixer that Husky and Roe bought me 4 years ago as a housewarming present that I've never ever used. Stand mixer. Really fancy, like super expensive, like special edition KitchenAid standing mixer. I never used this. This is the first time I have literally ever used this thing in 4 years, right? And I put the whisk attachment on. I was like, all right, I'm gonna blend this. I'm gonna whisk this at mega speed, just to get all the clumps out and try to incorporate the gravy the best I can. Well, it did a pretty good job, but now it was too thick. The gravy was just too thick, even after mixing it in the standing mixer. So I was like, okay, well, I still have a bunch of this liquid gold here, the drippings off of the turkey. I'm just going to add more of that, and then I'll season it with, salt, pepper, white pepper, etc. So I did that, and the consistency after mixing it for just 1 or 2 minutes after adding the new fluid in, it turned out to be pretty good. There were still little clumps in there, but I was still nervous that it was too bland. I was nervous that it was just going to taste like flour. I did a bunch of taste tests. It tasted okay to me, but I also am kind of particular when it comes to gravy, and I like it a little bit saltier than most. So I wasn't sure how my friends were going to react. Everybody said the gravy was excellent, that was the biggest shock of the night. So, and then of course Mama Victa's chocolate chip cookies and pumpkin pies. She made 2 of them, and homemade whipped cream, and everything went off without a hitch. So Friendsgiving was a huge success, and I had a very good day. It made me very happy to feed my friends and make something that I'd never made before. And the moral of the story is, don't be afraid to try new things, especially when you're talking about cooking. I figured that I would be, if I'm in all honesty, I figured that I would be pretty decent at doing this because I do have some cooking knowledge. Like, I cook for myself quite often. I'm a master at steaks. I can make Mama Victa's chicken and noodles without even thinking about it. That's a pretty difficult dish to do sometimes. Yeah, I made sushi. I've done all kinds of stuff. So I've got, I don't have any official training or anything for cooking. I'm not a chef by any means, but I've got, I would say, a slightly above average knowledge of cooking because I've done it for myself for so long. So I figured that I'd be decent at it. I thought that maybe one or two things would be messed up, but for everything to get a glowing review was beyond my expectations, and it made me feel really good. So don't be afraid to try something new. That's the moral of the story today. And also, don't move so fast to possibly get yourself murked by a mimic chest within like a frame, because I'm pretty sure that that's the closest that we've been to dying ever. So thank you for watching, other than Guppy's collar saving us, obviously. So thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've ever tried to do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner or Friendsgiving. Do you even do Friendsgiving? A lot of people looked at me like, huh? Like Thanksgiving? That was like 4 weeks ago, brother. No. This is Friendsgiving. And then I'll probably end up doing one in July just because that'd just be fun. So comment below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the questions of the episodes. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Have a great start to your Tuesday mosh pit. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Flashback 007, Paradoxius Blackheart, and Alex Meyer. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Sinvicta.